The only way to stop procrastinating. Procrastination is one of the most common issues people face. Whether it's that report, your fitness goals, or a big life decision, there always seems to be a reason to put things off. But what if there was a way to stop procrastination for good? This article will explore a single, powerful approach to end procrastination and achieve lasting productivity. Why we procrastinate. First, it's essential to understand why we procrastinate. Contrary to popular belief, procrastination isn't just laziness or poor time management. Instead, it's often driven by psychological factors like fear of failure, perfectionism, or feeling overwhelmed. Knowing that procrastination has emotional roots can help you take steps that go beyond simply trying to be more disciplined. The solution: the 5-minute rule. The 5-minute rule is a surprisingly simple yet powerful strategy to stop procrastinating. Here's how it works. When you're faced with a task, commit to doing it for just 5 minutes. That's it. No more, no less. Why it works. 1. Reduces overwhelm. Tasks can feel intimidating, and even the idea of starting can be daunting. By committing to only 5 minutes, you shrink the mental barrier of starting, which is often the hardest part. 2. Engages momentum. Once you begin, you're more likely to keep going. Often, the biggest hurdle is getting started, and once you've started, it's easier to continue. 3. Eliminates perfectionism. When you set a 5-minute limit, you remove the pressure to do things perfectly. This approach frees you from overthinking and simply gets you moving. How to implement the 5-minute rule. Here's a step-by-step guide to applying the 5-minute rule to any task. 1. Choose a task you're avoiding. Identify one task you've been putting off. It could be as simple as replying to emails or as complex as starting a big project. 2. Set a timer for 5 minutes. This keeps the commitment small and achievable. Set a timer on your phone or computer for 5 minutes. 3. Focus fully for 5 minutes. During those 5 minutes, give the task your full attention. Don't worry about completing it. Just focus on starting and engaging. 4. Assess how you feel at the end of 5 minutes. When the timer goes off, decide if you want to continue. Often, once you've started, you'll find yourself willing to keep going. But if you don't feel like continuing, you can stop guilt-free. 5. Repeat if necessary. If you still feel resistance, you can apply the 5-minute rule again the next time. Gradually, you'll develop a habit of starting tasks without overthinking them. The psychology behind the 5-minute rule. The 5-minute rule leverages a concept called activation energy. Activation energy is the initial mental effort required to start a task. Once this small energy hurdle is overcome, the task feels more manageable. By reducing the perceived effort, you sidestep the mental blocks that lead to procrastination. Examples of the 5-minute rule in action. Let's look at how the 5-minute rule can work for different types of tasks. Example 1. Studying for an exam. If studying feels daunting, start with just 5 minutes of reading or note-taking. Often, you'll end up studying for a longer period once you get into it. Example 2. Exercising. Committing to 5 minutes of activity, like stretching or a quick walk, can lead you to extend the workout once you're warmed up. Or, even if you stop after 5 minutes, you've still taken a small step toward your fitness goal. Example 3. Cleaning your space. Cleaning can feel like a never-ending task, but setting a timer and tackling one small area, like a desk or kitchen counter, can help you get into the flow. 5 minutes often turns into more, and even if it doesn't, you've made progress. Example 4. Writing a report or paper. Instead of planning to complete the entire report, commit to just 5 minutes of brainstorming or outlining. Once you get started, you'll often find it easier to continue writing. Overcoming resistance. Common challenges and solutions. Even the 5-minute rule can sometimes feel challenging to stick with. Here are a few common challenges and tips on how to overcome them. Challenge 1. I don't even feel like starting. Solution. Break down the task further. For instance, if the 5-minute start still feels too overwhelming, commit to opening a document, setting up your workspace, or doing a single action that gets you one step closer to starting. Challenge 2. I feel like it's too small to matter. Solution. Remind yourself that any progress, even small, is still progress. The goal is to build momentum, and over time, these small starts can lead to big accomplishments. Challenge 3. I feel guilty stopping after just 5 minutes. Solution. Remember that the purpose of the 5 minute rule is to create an approachable starting point, not to finish the entire task. If you feel motivated, keep going. But if you need to stop, give yourself permission to do so. Turning the 5 minute rule into a habit. For the 5 minute rule to have long-term effects, consistency is key. Here's how to make it a lasting habit. 1. Set daily reminders. Pick a specific time each day to apply the 5 minute rule, whether it's for work, fitness, or personal projects. 2. Celebrate small wins. Acknowledge each 5 minute success. Tracking these accomplishments can reinforce the habit and help you feel a sense of progress. 3. Reflect on progress. At the end of each week, reflect on what you were able to start. Often, you'll find you've accomplished far more than you expected by simply starting. Why the 5 minute rule really works. The power of the 5 minute rule lies in its simplicity. It bypasses the tendency to overthink, making it easier to get started on any task. By creating a habit of just starting, you'll often find that you end up completing far more than you thought possible. Over time, this method helps you develop a proactive mindset, making you less likely to procrastinate and more inclined to act. Conclusion. Start today. One task at a time. Procrastination doesn't have to control your life. With the 5 minute rule, you have a tool that's simple, actionable, and effective. By committing to small steps, you can build momentum, overcome resistance, and start moving toward your goals. So pick one task, set that timer, and begin. The path to productivity and fulfillment starts with those first 5 minutes.